Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, March 27th. Well, about 3 weeks ago, we were focusing in on a humongous sunspot that just emerged from the far side of the sun and started rotating around the sun. It had numerous coronal mass ejections, or CMEs, that affected the Earth. For the most part, the Earth suffered no serious blows, but it was still a sunspot to watch. And in fact, this is the solar image from about 3 weeks ago, and here's that specific sunspot. It's officially called AR 1429. It emerged from the far side of the sun and then slowly rotated around the sun in this fashion, and again had some numerous coronal mass ejections facing the Earth, and some of those caused some problems around the poles, but for the most part we survived that, and then that sunspot moved away off to the far side of the sun. Well, now let's take a look at the very latest solar image. Well, here's the current solar image. Back to a calm period here. There's nothing too severe in terms of sunspot. There's a little bit of a sunspot detected here, but where that humongous sunspot existed, just nothing occurring right now in the sun. Again, that rotated all the way around. Now, the curious thing is what is going on the far side of the sun, and NASA has a simulation that will show right now that indicates that that sunspot that appeared on the sun about 3 weeks ago is actually still remaining very active on the far side of the sun, and it very well could reemerge within a week or so. Well, here's the NASA computer model that we displayed a few weeks ago when we were focused in on that large sunspot. Let's get oriented again. This yellow circle right here represents the Earth. Here, of course, is the sun right in the center. And there are a couple of, happens to be a Stereo B spacecraft out here. And notice this ejection right here. That's a coronal mass ejection that moves from the far side of the sun, actually gives a glancing blow to the Stereo B spacecraft out there. And this is actually indicative of a very active sunspot. In fact, that same sunspot that we followed 3 weeks ago as it's rotating around on the far side of the sun. If it remains active, it very well could reemerge over the next week or so and perhaps have a second go-around at throwing some plasma towards the Earth in the next week or two. So we'll continue to follow that. Again, that very large sunspot that we focused in on about 3 weeks ago, some 4 times the size of the Earth, is still remaining active and is rotating around the sun, and it very well could reemerge and affect the Earth in the next week or two. So we'll continue to monitor that interesting situation here at the SIweather.com. For the SI, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.